Okay. Okay. Are we good? Is my wait, let me set up um we hello? Wait, oh, I think we might need to increase hello? Mm, hello? Um okay, I think that's a good amount of volume. So, yeah, there's that. Hi, everyone. Wait. Let's tweet this. My first time streaming on YouTube. So, I'm not really sure like how this is gonna go, but you can chat. That's great, right? I can finally like interact in a good way. I think part of the reason why I decided to go YouTube, even though what like I was asking around on Twitter like where I should stream, because my Twitter Spaces. Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a tangent, but my phone. There's something wrong with my phone. I think it's an older model, like a 2016 model, um, OnePlus 6, and she's dying. Like, well, not she's not dead, dead. Like, I can still use it quite decently, actually. Um, yeah, but I think she has problems running Twitter. Can you imagine that? A phone not being able to run Twitter? Like, I can't imagine. So it's been tough. I've been using Twitter Lite recently because it keeps crashing every like 30 seconds of use, and it's just a struggle. I can't even tweet properly. So tweet spaces is just not it's she's not happening anytime soon. So I was considering two platforms. It was either um like a Discord community channel server or a YouTube live. And why I decided to go with YouTube instead of Discord is that because I already have this channel. Hello, welcome to Paranbit. Pretty different from my Twitter branding, I suppose. And I don't really use this channel anyways, so I might as well use the space for something, right? And it's not like the things I talk about here are a lot different than the shit I talk about on YouTube. So yeah, and also because this has like a video thing and a chat, so you guys can like ask questions, and then I can respond to them. Not only that, but I can screen share, which I will do in a moment because I was gonna talk about like Snowdrop stuff, and I think a bit on the BDS stuff. Wait, I tweeted what I want to talk about. Let me look at that. What was I going to talk about today? I was going to talk about something today. I swear. This is not just because I want to test out YouTube stuff. Okay, wait. Where was it? I said I was going to talk about stuff. Dude, did not tweet? Oh my god. Don't you know I'm a savage? But yeah, I was going to talk about Snowdrop stuff. And I think a bit of the, like, not a lot of BTS, I think. There's just some stuff with Taehyung, again, as usual. And I think there was something else that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I didn't tweet. See, Twitter is so problematic recently. Like, I don't my tweets aren't going on. It's a whole thing and a half. Okay, like I don't know what's going on there, but she's not doing great. So, also another thing why I decided to move here instead of Discord is that with YouTube I can archive my dumpster diving, and that's a thing, right? Like a lot of feedback I've gotten for my dumpster dives is that a lot of ooms seem to miss it. Like, I go live usually like on Indonesian time, and it's like usually midnight, around midnight, like KST. And it works well for my schedule because I do it after work. And for my ooms in the Western Hemisphere, hello, hi, shout out to you guys. It works well for them, but a lot of my Eastern ooms are usually like asleep. And well, for Western Hemisphere ooms, they're also like at work and stuff during this time. So yeah, archiving is a thing that we should work on. So I decided to go to YouTube because I can archive them, but it's an unlisted video. So I won't be attacked by a random army or by a random blink in my mentions, which is great. Amazing. What else? Yeah, with Discord, like said that it's like a lot nicer than Twitter Spaces. Like I can, hi, oomph. I can control like who gets into the server and stuff, right? Which is great. But I don't know. It's like a big responsibility. Like I feel like if I open a new server, a community server, just to do a Discord stages, it'd be like a big responsibility to like, I don't know, like take care of the server, like become a mod, and like I'm a mod right now for the sexy server. Shout out to sexy ooms. Oh my god, I love you guys. So and like it's not that big of a responsibility there, but like I don't know if I want to do a server just to do Discord stage, like a community server just for Discord stages. So since I already have this platform, I can archive my dumpster dives now, unlist them. Like I think this is perfect. Also, I learned OBS um like this past few days just to run this shit. So like I hope you guys appreciate that. Hi. Okay, so that's a bit of a tangent of why I decided to move to YouTube. What do you call this? YouTube Live instead of Discord, and not also Twitter Spaces. Like RIP my phone. Well, she's not dead yet, but yeah, she's nearing death, and she cannot do Twitter perfectly anymore. So yeah, that's a bit of a tangent there. So what was I going to talk about today? Let's switch to my screen share setup a bit. Okay. So what was I going to talk about today? I was going to talk about Snowdrop stuff. Yeah, I just finished watching Street Girl. What was it? Street Girl Fighter. Yeah, and it just ended. Hence why I was on Instas looking at Street Girl Fighter posts. So yeah, um, Snowdrop. How have you guys like watched the first episode? And wait, just said it's a very Virgo thing to do. Yeah, I you know, the Virgo stellium is kind of popping off recently. She's she's in a bit of a thing, right? Oh, okay. With Snowdrop, right? So, Snowdrop premiered last week. Its time slot is on Saturday and Sunday. It stars Jisoo, Blackpink Jisoo, and Jung Hae-in, pretty big names. And then I think another actress people like know about it is like Kim Hye-yoon from, was it like the drama with Rowoon, the manhwa drama thing where she gained consciousness. That drama, and also Sky Castle. Oh yeah, the writers are the writers of Sky Castle. And this drama has been getting a lot of backlash, which I think are deserved. Like, dude, it's a whole mess and a half, right? And the backlash started in like March of this year, but then it kind of died down because they were in production. And Snowdrop, as I knew it, is a pre-produced drama. So they shoot not videos, all of the episodes first before it starts airing. And yeah, with the first episode, like shit hit the fan, essentially. So, to give a bit of a backstory, please ignore the 17 notification I have on Instas. Um, to give it a bit of a rundown, the story is set in 1987, which is the peak, the point of the democratic movement in Korea during the Chun Duhan administration. And this story tells the story of this girl named Yongro. She is portrayed by our lovely Miss Jisoo of Blackpink, and she lives in a dormitory. She's a university student, and one day she bumped into this guy who she thought was a protester, a student activist, who were being chased down by NSA agents. Essentially, like, I think in like American um like comparison would be like they're not FBI. They're like CIA. In Korea, it's like KCIA. That's like the real life. Um, hmm, sorry, real life inspiration for NSA was the KCI during the Pak Chung Hee administration. So I'll say they are like the CIA of Korea, something like that, who were being chased down by them. So Jisoo, thinking this guy, student activist, portrayed by Jong Hae-in, is a student activist, she decided to hide him in the girls' dormitory, right? Okay, but the catch is he's not actually a student activist. He's a North Korean spy communist agent. Hmm. Now, what do we think about that, right? Well, it's not in technicality, right? It's not like a really bad um premise. Wait, no, actually, it's a really bad premise because as a background at the time, Chon Du-hwan, who is a president, well, a dictator president shit, right? He is peddling this narrative, this propaganda that the student demonstrants, activists who are protesting against him are actually motivated and incited by communist agents from North Korea. So he's saying that the reason people are against him are because of these communist ideas that the students are studying, and that whenever he wants to frame a student activist, they usually frame them for like pretty much framing them as communists, and that's how they arrest them. And when they get arrested, they get tortured, and then shit hits the fan. Apparently, it's a whole thing, right? Which is also the same narrative he puts out for the Gwangju uh, thing incident in June 25th. Is that the right the right date? In any case, there is a whole, or no, it's the 18th of May, something like that. It's a whole thing where he locked down Gwangju, and then there was a whole media blackout. People weren't able to connect to anything, and then this was brought out because parents of student activists are worried for their sons and daughter who were being like just all kind of horrendous things happened to them because of the government. So they decided to protest, and this protest again was joined by other student activists, and it's a whole thing in Gwangju. And because of it, Chonduhan locked down the city, did a whole media blackout, and it was just atrocious things happened. Just saying that, right? And Chonduhan justified his actions of doing this in Gwangju by saying that the protests were led by North Korean spies. So that's the kind of propaganda he like pushed during the time. Now, the problem here is that they're saying that Jong Hae-in is an actual North Korean spy, and that Jisoo's dad, who is an NSA director, not even an agent, like the director of NSA, he's straight laced. He didn't like what the president was doing. he is actually a good person. He just wanted to hunt down North Korean spies. And by having the North Korean spy as a main character, it's kind of what people like justifying that period of time, justifying the propaganda. Essentially, that's what's happening right now. If you follow Gatamchon, wait, let me open Gatamchon. My screen is showing the JTBC representative, what do you call that? A statement. But let's open Gatamchon for a bit. I've been retweeting them obsessively the past few days because she has the best coverage of this whole snowdrop shit. Like always on top of it, right? And as she has pointed out, I'm not really sure if it's where was it? It was like this morning or something where she made a whole thread of like what was it? Of Blinks falling into the right wing propaganda, like them being like pawns in this whole thing. Okay, where was it? Where was it? It was this morning. I swear it was this morning. Well, I can't find it, but um, essentially, it's like there's this right wing Twitter account where they pretty much like support Blinks who are supporting this drama, if that makes sense at all. So he's peddling like actual right wing propaganda and then like saying thank you Blinks for supporting right wingers. So that it was like it's so ridiculous that like they fall into that trap of supporting like right wing supporters. And this also like evident in like the what do you call in the community like reactions to Snowdrop, like on Instas. Again, my community of choice is Instas. You can check out the video I did on Korean fandom communities on this channel. Haha, peddling my own videos. So like they're pretty moderate. I would say they're pretty liberal, I think, and they're mostly dominated by females, like teens, and like 20s maybe is like the oldest. Ah, here it is. I found it right here. So the tweet reads, there are a lot of Korean right-wing groups that really appreciate Jisoo taking this role so that many international fans can know the true Korean history. As you can see here, this is why this is a problem, because like I think for more like for most educated, well not educated, but like 20s, 30s, critically minded, critical thinking fans, they'd be able to tell it's like a what do you call like a fictional drama, right? Like the synopsis reads that this is supposed to be a black comedy. Okay, let's just take that as at face value, assuming that they successfully um like delivered the tone of a black comedy. Let's just assume that for one. Okay. For people who are in their 20s and 30s would probably able to process the oh shit the things that are happening in the drama. Like they would know which parts are fictional and which parts are not, like are the truth in essence. But like a lot of Blackpink fans aren't like, they're pretty young and they're also from like all over the world, like not only Eastern countries or Southeast Asian countries, or like countries that has the same like background. Oof, said the way they're not even being discreet. Essentially, yeah, like it's not like they're not even being discreet with this. Like the right wingers, the Ilbe Hanams are like feasting in this essentially. And like fans are just chewing it up. Like the most Blinks like defense on this is that like in March previously there has been petition to cancel the drama, and the Blue House um, put out a statement saying that they can't interfere with freedom of speech, something along those lines. It's just like, well, what can we do? We won't infringe on freedom of speech, something like that. Wait, let me drink for a bit. Okay, so Blinks were taking it as like, well, the Blue House has approved the drama. Again, why would why would the Blue House need to approve a drama? Who knows? But I think it's more of like a neutral stance rather than the support, rather than the government saying that, yeah, this drama is fine. It's more of like, well, I don't think there's anything we can do about it, something along those lines. But the Blinks are interpreting it like it's an approval of the drama, that there's nothing wrong with the drama. So that's how the drama got approved in the first, like how there was no problem in the production of the drama. But the backlash continued, right? So now that it has aired, before in March, people were like, the production also said like, well, we're changing the synopsis a little bit. It's not gonna be the same as what you read in the leaked, like, synopsis. Yeah, the synopsis leaked before it aired, hence why the backlash in March. And part of the backlash was that Jisoo's character, now named Yongro, previously named Yongcho, is actually based off, like the name Yongcho is actually from a very like a mildly, not mildly, like a moderately famous female student activist who's still living to this day. They're still alive. They're sick though. They have struggle like talking because of what happened, the PTSD, the torture, the things that happened to her, essentially caused her to have trouble speaking. And but she's still alive, and she is married to another student activist, a male student activist, who was indicted, arrested by the NSA on charges of being a North Korean spy. So that's a thing, right? That's the real life background. So Jisoo is named after that female activist. So for the drama to portray her being in love with an actual North Korean spy is just so like 눈치 없어. It's so 어이없다. It's so tactless. It is so senseless. It is just like they're not even hiding it. It's not even like implicit. It is a very explicit portrayal of just a right wing propaganda. Like I cannot, right? So that was a whole thing in March. So they changed her name. That's all they did. Like the bare minimum. They just changed her name from Yongcho to Yongro. But after the drama aired this past weekend, as we can see, nothing has changed from the previous leaked synopsis to what was aired. No difference. It's the same thing, essentially. So fans, well, not fans. What do you call them? Like viewers, K fans, K drama fans, are rightfully upset, cause like, what? These you said you're gonna change the synopsis, whatever, whatever, and nothing has changed, right? So again, the backlash amped up, and what happened today essentially is the JTBC production team has released a statement. And what JTBC as a bangsongsa, as a broadcast station, um, stated is that they would also not infringe on creative freedom and freedom of speech, essentially. Even though in the past few days, the estate of Lee Han-yeol, one of the most iconic student activists of the time, and also the estate of Park Jong-chol, again, a very notable, a very iconic, a very like the icon essentially. He is what incited this whole democratic movement, a really key figure in the democratic movement, Park Jong-cheol's estate also has condemned the drama, saying that the drama is actually like what do you call it? Like they are aggravating, like they're pretty much like spitting on the faces of victims of said incident, which is true. Like why like, oh my god, again, like if it's only like fan backlash or like a viewer backlash, I would be like, okay, maybe, you know, and it was before it aired. But after it aired and condemned by activists like estates, like they are like regarded as national heroes. Like national heroes are saying that your drama is hurting the democratic movement. Like, are you not ashamed? Are you not like the where is the brain in all of this? Like I just do not understand. See, as you can see here, PMI K-pop also covered it a little bit. Um, so yeah, part of it was also like people saying Jesus acting sucks, which from the clips that I've seen, like yeah, she wasn't serving anything. Also, what happened like before the first episode aired was that the Blackpink members like Lisa, Rose, and Jennie posted like in support of the drama, like on their Instagram stories, and because of it, they're also getting backlash, which I think deserved. Like, if your member is doing something bad, like don't support it. Like, dude. So that was a whole thing as well. And then what else? Yeah, so they are like the JTBC people don't care, the Disney Plus people don't care. The government are saying we can't infringe on freedom of speech, which again I agree with, but if you're discrediting the democratic movement, then like what are you doing, you know? See, a conservative writer stated that the prosecution of Snowdrop is frightening and that publishing is dominated by the left. He claims that that it is historical fact. It is historical fact that the pro-democracy activists were educated by North Korean spies. Note, they were not. Exactly. This drama is just a fuel to the fire that is right-wing like supporters. It is scary. But also, I'm not surprised in that because it is produced by who, everybody? By YG. And why is that significant? They're part of the Park Geun-hye mafia. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But they have close ties to the Park Geun-hye administration. They were part of, what was her name? Choi Soon-sil's like inner circle. Like Choi Soon-sil had this thing where she always casted Psy for internal like events. Like it was always Psy performing for some reason. But at the time, didn't have P Nation yet. He was still under YG. So there was actually an investigation into that, like the Choi Soon Sil Park Geun-hye ties to YG. Like I just know YG is a right winger. Like he's a Hanam. Like you don't even have to know no. Like you can sense it. You know. You just do. Right? So it's a whole tie. It's a whole ribbon. She's a whole mess. Okay? And yeah, it's not looking great, to be quite honest. And so netizens started like a new petition. If everybody want to sign, I can send you the link. But it has gained like 200,000 signatures in like 2 days. Amazing. We love democratic movement enthusiasts, you know. So yeah, as you can see here, the the torture, she's not great. Okay. Okay, here. This the whole Ihanyeol thing. Ihanyeol is a student who was killed after a can of tear gas shot by the government soldiers struck in the head. There's an like a very iconic picture of this. If you search it up, he's gonna be in like a varsity jacket, That was one of the most iconic pictures of the democratic student movement, you know, and he condemned Snowdrop. So, and after the Ihanyol estate released a statement, Blackpink fans are sending protest emails to various media outlets and posting the phone number of the Ihanyol Foundation in community forums. Like, oh my god, Blinks are just not it. They're not like they're dragging Jisoo through the mud. You know, like your fave is doing something wrong already. Like, why are you why are you making it worse for her? Like, you know. And if you see like the casts, I think a lot of them are like associated with YG as well. Like, oh, we're not surprised, you know. So it's not great. It's not great. The public's view of this cult unfavorable and families of other Blackpink members have expressed their anger since other members are being criticized for some of Jisoo's fans' ignorant behavior. True, true, true. And like the thing is like a lot of people who are complaining or voicing their concerns about the drama are like framed as armies or anti-feminists. And it's just like such a right-winger move to be like you're not like girls support girls. You're like an anti-feminist or something like that. Like may you know, this whole thing is just a mess. And what I figured out recently is that um they South Korea is having their presidential election soon in 2022, and the political climate has been a bit of a mess. If you follow Dynasty on Twitter, I will pull him up real quick. Koryo Dynasty, I love him, by the way. He's um a British um what do you call it? Reporter who reports on like Korean social affairs and politics, which I love, by the way. Because of like this whole political climate thing, what happened recently is the Korean Women's Politic Network's head Shin Ji-hye has been named senior vice chairman of the New Era Preparatory Committee of a unit of People Power Party. So, who is the People Power Party? They're pretty much the conservative party in Korea, and she is supposedly a feminist, right? She's also like a self-proclaimed like liberal. Like she's more of a like the left party, if you can say that. But she has now joined hands with one of the most conservative um like candidates for the presidency. It's not going well. See, you remember Shin, who ran for Seoul mayor in 2018 as a Green Party candidate and vowed to become a feminist mayor. She also sponsored the Seoul Pride, something like that. So for her to join hands with the most conservative president candidate, on top of that, a candidate that denounces the anti-discrimination bill, a whole mess, right? On top of that though, the Democratic presidential candidate, An Chol-soo, she he was out in the streets of Daegu demanding the release of from prison of former presidents Im Young-bak and Park Geun-hye. Dude, as background, Im Young-bak is a former mayor of Seoul who became president and was then charged with corruption, and also his son did drugs apparently, and also he has ties to YG because his son has ties with Burning Sun apparently. And Park Geun-hye, you know all about her. So for the Democratic Party to be like, let's like get these people out of jail, who like it's a whole mess and a half. And on top of that, Park Geun-hye's little sister, is um well, how to say it, like she is campaigning to be the head of one of the parties, one of the party's head, like the people, like the president of the party or something like that. And like, maybe it's not so far-fetched to call this whole thing a right-wing propaganda for sure. Like when the math is mathing, like you know you know it's just, it's a whole thing and a half, okay? And going back to Snowdrop after this whole political tangent, I'm like, at first I was kind of like, maybe if it's a black comedy done right, being that the tone is executed well, and people who watch the drama understands that it's a black comedy, as in it's a satirical take. So very ridiculous things happen to highlight the irony. Essentially, that's what I think black comedy kind of encapsulates. I don't think the ridiculous plot points and synopsis is that big of a deal. I think a good like example of this, if it's like a Hollywood movie, would be The Big Shot, which I love. By the way, The Big Shot is a movie that covered the housing crisis in 2008 before the market crashed. And that's a pretty like devastating, a pretty grim background and incident to cover in a black comedy, and we are following essentially the investors who made a profit out of this international tragedy, essentially. But you're led to believe that these people are just as bad. Like, they didn't at first, they didn't think it was that bad to be profiting out of this tragedy, because that's what investors do. They make a profit when they fuck over someone, something like that. Can I curse on YouTube Live? I'm not sure. I will unlist this video anyway, so does it really matter? Who cares? So they make a profit when other people like make a loss. So, that's just what investors do, but they didn't realize the scale of this international tragedy. So you kind of follow their descent into madness from being like, yeah, we're gonna make tons of money, to be like, right? If we make a profit, that means like millions of people are losing their jobs, losing their houses, and stuff like that. So you kind of follow their descent into like their realization that this thing is bigger than everything else, and that the housing market is a scam, essentially like that. But you as a viewer, even there's like jokes in between about how ridiculous people are, like how daft they are towards the economic like structures and stuff like that. Like, you're pretty much, as a viewer, you understand that it's supposed to highlight that everything's a scam. Everything is pretty much like profiting of people's non like financial illiteracy, something like that. So it's like a really good like black comedy tone. For Korean dramas, I would suggest watching Heard It to the Grapevine. I'm the number one Heard It to the Grapevine fangirl, hype girl, whatever you want to call it, but it's really good. It's a drama starring Ijun. Okay, wait, let me pull it up. Heard It Through the Grapevine. Here it is. Drama starring Ijun and Go Ah-sung. Essentially, what happened here is Go Ah-sung here, she's a girl from like a relatively poor family, and she got into a teen pregnancy with Ijun, who's the son of a very rich family, like a chaebol, essentially. And pretty much it's not really a makjang, but you kind of get the sense of the ridiculous things the rich family does to like get Go Ah-sung's image like to a certain point to make it acceptable that she's like having the baby of their son, essentially. But it's like to the point of like like it highlights also things like corruption and social disparity and stuff like being critical of those things. So it's like really good, and I really enjoyed the drama, but also it's like really funny moments as well. I'm not saying that black comedy can't be lighthearted, but it has to be critical as well. Now the thing with Snowdrop and the things that has been like on air this past few days, I get that that's a tone the writers are going for, but it just doesn't land well. Like some of the dialogue I think that was highlighted. Wait, was it? Is there here? Let me search it up on Instas real quick, right? Hi God. I gotta switch to create. Hey, no. Oh, wait. She is not faring well. By the way, if there's any problem with my stream or whatever, you can tweet me as usual at Taldokje. As you can see, I've been searching uh, a lot of that. Hmm. Wait. Wait. Okay, I think this is it. Is there the dialogue? So okay, one of the scenes in episode 2 was that Jisoo and her friends went to a jimjilbang, a sauna, right? And I think they hid him, Jonghin, in there as well. And then I see agents like approach them in the sauna, and because it's a sauna and they separate by gender, only the female agent was able to get in, right? And she, oh yeah, it's not this one. She was like, um, oh, oh, she, oh, I think it's this one. Is it? No, no, no. Okay, so she was made to be the only one who got into the like to get into the sauna, and she brought like a gun with her or something like that, and then she approached the girls who was like sitting in this like wooden chair, something like that. I don't think I can show you the clip, or this video is gonna get like like not demonetized, but like taken down. I don't know, like copyright claim, whatever it is. So they were sitting in like the wooden chairs, you know, in sauna where it's like the steam room, and they hid Jonghae like in the chair, like in this like what's it called, like bar, not really bar, but like you know, like the really long wooden chair in like a steam room, like so they hid him there. And so when the NSA agent approached them, she was like, have you seen this guy? And they were really scared, so she asked him like, am I really scary or something like that? And it's like a really tense scene. And then because Jonghae is of course hurt, like he has like wounds and everything, there was blood coming out of like the chair thing from like the in between the wooden like bars and everything. So to distract the NSA agent from it, Jisoo like stepped up and being like, "Oh, of course you're scary because you're bringing a gun here," something like that. And but like she called the NSA agent like an Ajuma, right? And that was supposed to be like the comedic point, quotation marks, like that she called the NSA agent an Ajuma, and that the NSA agent was like shocked by it, like Ajuma, something like that, and like because of it, she backed out and left the sauna, something like that, essentially. And it was played to be like a joke. I think that's what they're trying to imply for shock factor. Like it's so ridiculous. It's supposed to be funny? Question mark. It's so ridiculous that people are supposed to understand that in its ridiculousness, it's highlighting the things that occurred in a sauna. Because as a background, like historical background, before like when if they arrest like student activists and stuff and they take them to the sauna, they do not have the privilege of just sitting there like Jisoo did, but like the student activists would then be like interrogated, but in like a very violent way, involving water involving being tied up to the ceiling, and some of them did not make it or like leave the sauna with lasting PTSD, with lasting like speech impairment, just lasting effects, or so much mental pressure that they decided to just not anymore, if I can put it lightly, you know. So things, good things do not happen in the sauna, let's just say that. So for them to do this, like, what kind of student activist would be brave enough to stand and yell at an NSA agent in real life, right? I think that's like the ridiculousness they're trying to highlight and make it into like a black comedy sort of thing. But it's just insensitive knowing that student activists do not survive when they go into a sauna with an NSA agent, and then being like, hey, let's have the main character just shout as at an NSA agent and like make it comedic and make it that she is played as the hero, is not the greatest portrayal, you know. I think that's what they're trying to play at, because again, one of the scenes in the first episode, I think this is the one I had the um like dialogue open up here. So in the dorm, Jisoo has two roommates, and when she took home Junghae after having the NSA agents chase them, and her pretending that Junghae is her boyfriend who's a student activist, so that the NSA agents wouldn't think that he's a North Korean spy, and he took her into the dorms. She took him into the dorms, um, wounded and everything. The roommates saw him, right? So here, Jisoo said, because he was being chased, because he was demonstrating, we have to hide him. And then the first roommate said, well, he might be a North Korean spy. And the second roommate said, what North Korean spy? That's just fake. That's just what they say to us all the time. The second roommate is a student activist, like a real student activist. Like, she's deep in it, you know? So, she kind of plays into like the ridiculousness. Like, he can't really be a North Korean spy. That's just like red scare tactics they shout at us all the time, something like that. So I think like they tried to play off the ridiculousness that Junghae is actually a North Korean spy and that they're actually hiding a North Korean spy. But in that sense, I think it also kind of justifying the acts of the NSA agents, you know, that it's kind of saying that, well, you see, there is actual North Korean spies. So um NSA agents arresting student activists and taking them into saunas and making them talk question marks aren't questionable. It's totally reasonable actions. And I think that shouldn't be the takeaway of a black comedy. I think you should come out of the black comedy being like, yeah, that was a really messed up time, you know? So, like, I'm not surprised that this drama is being supported by right wingers at all, and that I think its fault is in its writing and execution. Like, if you're gonna do a black comedy question mark, you shouldn't like humanize the NSA director who is Jisoo's dad by saying that he's straight laced, by he is like he did not took part in Chon Doo-hwan's coup d'etat. He did not took part in the whole Gwangju thing. He thinks it's wrong. Like, what do you mean? He's the NSA director. He's pretty much the head of the whole operation. Like, that be making no sense. They're also like portraying him as being like a good dad to Jisoo, a family man, uh, an innocent man who likes literature, and that's not the kind of image you want to give. Like, humanizing the villain when the villain is a real life criminal. Like, you know, like if you humanize Eren from Attack on Titan, like whatever, he's fictional, but this is like a real life criminal. Like, what are you doing? You know. So that's where we are right now. There's also been a lot of advertisers, ad no, sponsors who are canceling their ads and their like sponsorship of uh well not their ad sponsorship and like things they supported for Snowdrop, because like earlier this week a list of um the Snowdrop like sponsor list like got not leaked, but like they took note of, you know, when like the ending of a drama and they list out all of these sponsors, like usually it's like Subway and stuff, like PPL people, you know. A lot of them have been withdrawing their stuff. And what's shady about this as well is apparently the marketing team for Snowdrop, when they ask for sponsorship or items like what do you call, like brand, like, you know, when influencers approach brands being like, would do you want to sponsor me, like I'll give you a promoted post, something like that. When the Snowdrop team like approach these advertisers asking for product placements and stuff like that, or stuff they want to borrow for like costumes and stuff like that, is they don't give them the full synopsis of the drama at all. Let's see if I've scrapped that. Where can I find my scraps? Oh, here it is. They don't give them like a list. Or not a list. They don't give them like the full synopsis. They just say, "Hey, yeah, we're doing a drama set in the 80s with Blackpink Jisoo as the main character, and she's a college student. Do you mayhaps wanna sponsor us by sending us clothes?" Or like something along those lines. So none of these well, none, but like not none, but like most of these advertisers who send their products, who buy like ad spots, who give them items and stuff like that, they do not know the full spectrum, the full synopsis of the drama. Which is like they're doing it for the star power essentially. And that's a scary thought, right? Like, you know, that's not a great thing at all. Like going in blind, essentially. So yeah, so because of it, a lot of advertisers and like sponsors, and not only like the people who send them items, but like Jong Hain is a brand ambassador for like this chicken brand. Even they are trying to pull out their ads from Snowdrop. So that's the whole thing. So they're struggling with that, but apparently, what people are saying, I think this is partly also xenophobia. Again, with Korean stuff, and when things are right wing adjacent, there's always gonna be accusations of it being like it's because China invested in the drama, and like they're trying to take over like propaganda and stuff like that. Apparently, advertisers and sponsors pulling out won't have a big of an impact to Snowdrop as a whole, because it's like, again, pre-produced, so it's like mostly done now, just editing, I think. And because the drama is mostly funded by Chinese investors, again, when talking about like China and China involvement, it's kind of hard, right? There's gonna be a bit of xenophobia, um, like interlaced with really good arguments and criticism. So we have to be pretty like aware of that when going into it. So yeah. Oh, this is yeah. Yeah, so they a lot of people are um trying to make the comparison of Snowdrop being like the not the N word. I'm not sure if I can say this on YouTube Live, but you can read it yourself. Like, yeah, just with like the German history, World War II stuff in Germany. So they're like with Jisoo being Anne Frank and them just saying, well, she's not really Anne Frank. Her name is Anna Franco. Yeah, which again, pretty much, pretty much. So yeah, they're trying to make that comparison, which again, I think this is a good take. Like if you're really a fan of Jisoo or if you're really a fan of Donghae, you would want this drama to stop airing. Cause if it follows through, like it's just she's not. I don't think she'll make it to the end. Like you know, even though it's not great that they are saying that they're more focused on the drama being a like the drama tainting Jesus' career rather than its historical, political, social impact of history revisionism. But at least they're moving in the right direction, right? Like not um like what do you call sobihanan gol, like not mm, what do you call consuming the drama, something like that. So I think that's where we're at right now. The ratings also hasn't been that great for Snowdrop. It's like 2%, 2 point something percent for the first episode, and like 3 something percent for the second episode, which is like she's not high, but she's also not that low. Like a good indication that it has flopped would be like a 1% drama, like 1% rating. Again, because it's like on a not a national broadcast station. It's like a swasta, like a private one. So yeah, it's not like I hope more people are aware of this, and that it's like really bad and that people stop watching. If you wanna watch, go watch it on like illegal sites. Like don't contribute to the ratings and everything, and just it's not going great. It's not looking great, you know. And from one anti-Korea allegations girl group to another anti-Korean allegations a boy group that we have discussed in previous dumpster dives. Um, I would like to transition to talking about BTS. But in comparison to the Snowdrop stuff, it really isn't all that much. Really, I wouldn't even say it's like interesting at all. Because it's just been like, was this him? Taehyung just running his mouth. Essentially, that's what's been happening. On Instagram and on Weavers. Recently, the most recent thing that he did was that a fan posted um a like a screenshot of Taldok Suyongso. It's a YouTube account. Let me pull it up as usual. How are we gonna have to switch her? Taldok Suyongso. I think that's the way you spell it. Yeah, so Taldok Suyongso. Someone posted like their what do you call their like account with like a V video. What was it? This the shocking reality of V fandom for the first place in brand reputation index. Oh no, this one. Taehyung, serious situation after drinking K-pop, something like that. A fan posted it on Weavers, but I think they forgot to make the video to make the post like not visible for the artists themselves. And like V commented on it being like, yeah, I'm gonna sue them. And that like no big idol like likes this person or likes anti or something like that. Maybe it's in this paying. Let me pull it up. Maybe they have it, maybe they don't, and we'll see. Oh, here. Wait, is it this? No. Where did they? Oh, I think it's a retweet. It's gonna be too hard to find. So I'm not even gonna attempt to find it. But it's in her account. If you wanna follow her, follow her. I think well, they, I don't know if it's a he or she, they don't have pronouns. They have a good coverage of BTS egg accounts of recent times, but they pretty much screenshotted like the essentially saying that they will sue them, stuff like that, and like taking it seriously. Like, and the fans are also like, what do you call it? Like, encouraging him too. And the thing is that, um, wait, I think this is the one where they posted this. So Taldok Soyoung so like responded on their YouTube community channel, being like, "Oh my God, do you guys know that Taehyung watches my video?" Oh here, Taldok Soyoung so being like, um, exclusive. Now, V has said on Weverse himself that he watches Taldok Suyongso videos. Oh, and then like so V commented that this is just like pretty much a bunch of nonsense. Which I mean they're not wrong. They're antis. Like what can you do, you know? Um and like that they will get sued, something like that. So Taldok Suyongso was being like, well he's gonna sue me. Well, it's been a long time. Like I've been getting like similar threats for a long time, so well, you can try. Essentially, something to that extent. And then they'd be like, "Oh my god, yeah, my channel is being viewed by World Star BTS." So yeah, I just gonna spurt them on, which I think is like the most hilarious thing. And apparently, if you can see here in the comments, he has since deleted the comment on the post that he was gonna sue Taldok Suyong. So he's a whole mess on Weverse. And like the thing is he also comes on Weverse like sometimes drunk, which I don't mind. Like I literally stand 17 who went on TTT and got blackout drunk, you know? So that's not like a whole problem. But he goes on Weavers like all drunk and stuff, like not properly typing, and then posting like that video picture of him like with the, what do you call that? With the not goatee, but like a 5 p.m. shadow, being like I haven't shaved, but like the caption's also not um like typed out. Like you can you can clearly see it was like a drunk text kind of thing. Like they're a whole mess, essentially. So yeah, that's kind of been the point of contention there. Though I do have something to praise about BTS for once. Like I'm surprised myself. I'm surprised myself. But Suga in his pre-debut days, he made a song about the 18th May insurrection. Wait, let me search that up. Oh, it was on Instas. Maybe I can find it on their account. Because I liked it. It was cool. Where was it? Let's scroll. For the meantime, because of any questions, any responses, you can put it on the chat, live chat down below. I put in like a widget here, so like chats will pop up and like emojis will pop up on the stream. Though I'm not really sure if that works or not, cause I got it from like something that was like it's supposed to work on like Twitch, but I'm doing it on YouTube Live, so I'm not sure if it'll work. But we can try, you know. We can always try. Oh my God, is that 17? Why is 17 on Instas? Okay. Where was it? Oh, here we go. So, yeah. Suga made a whole song about the 18th of May insurrection. This is also the background for the drama Youth of May. If you haven't watched Youth of May, you should. It's like pretty good. Um, it stars what's his name? The one that got caught with a girlfriend. I forgot his name. Youth of May, and the girls played by Go Min-shi. But I forgot the guy. I think you're more familiar with the guy. Oh, Lee Do Hyun, right? He's the one that got caught with a girlfriend. Why is that the only thing I remember about him? I don't know. But this drama I heard is pretty good, and it covers it like um the story is more of like the private lives of those two, of Go Min-shi's character and Lee Do Hyun's character, but in like the background of the Gwangju uprising, like they don't completely ignore it, and they're just normal, like they're just normal citizens, right? So it doesn't interfere with historical revisionism, because one of them happens to be a North Korean spy. Like I don't understand. Like there are so many things you can like write a drama about. Like why make it controversial? Like you know, right wing propaganda. That's why. Okay. Anyways, less ranting. More about Bangtan. So Sugar wrote this and like he produced it and composed it and pretty much talks about that, about the Gwangju uprising. So anybody wants to check it out, like he's pretty cool. I will admit that. See, I'm like a reasonable hater. Like if people I don't like does something worth praising, then I would praise them. Like, you know, I'm not a hater for the sake of hating. Maybe sometimes. But for the most part, if they do something good, then like I praise them, you know. Ah, on the note of Snowdrop again. So they released like an OST with the first two episodes, and it was a song by Song Shi Kyung. And so in one of his YouTube lives, hi fellow YouTuber, like one of his fans was like, um, talking to him, be like, "Can you please not do the Snowdrop OST?" And then he answered like, "Why? Why? Like Snowdrop historical revisionism? It has nothing to do with fact. It's like a fictional story. I already checked with the production team, and like the story, the plot has nothing to do with it. Like I read everything. It's fun." So he defended Snowdrop, and now he's getting backlash too. Haha, deserve. You know, they should just. This drama is just. It's like not worth everything. You know, just like get it together. Again, I don't. I was scrolling and like, what is this random 17 post? Okay, it was the one about them stealing the brown rice when the brown rice is for staff dinner, staff food. Like the restaurant only sells white rice, but they finished the whole brown rice. So that's that. That was trending. Yeah. That's like yeah. I aside from that, I don't think there's anything else really. Oh no, there is. Wait, what's? Oh, it's just Seokjin for GQ. Hi. I forgot there's still Louis Vuitton ambassadors. Um. Ooh, okay. Ah, there's gonna be an IU comeback in January. Good luck to idols coming back in January. I guess you're about to get buried. Um. RIP and Hypen. They're coming back in early January, so there's that. Oh, here, this is the one that I was gonna talk about. So, Jin is saying that um he is pretty much worthless without Bangtan. Okay, wait, let me rephrase that. He's saying that aside from Bangtan, there's nothing else to be proud about himself. There's nothing else he can be proud about himself. So like the one thing he's proud about himself is that he's part of Bangtan, essentially. I think this is from like an outtake from the GQ interview, which I think is interesting. You know, just one of those anecdotes I was reading and being like, okay, cool. Not that big of a serve, but you know, whatever. What else? See, most of the things on Insta even now is just Snowdrop stuff and the how the student activist foundations have been also condemning Blackpink. Deserve, deserve, like, get them out. Also, like, a very unexpected thing is that the coup comments have been like translated on Panchoa, right? And then in turn, like, the comments reacting to the Panchoa article, reacting to the coup, are translated back into Korean and then posted on the coup again. So there's like this like symbiosis mutualisme between the coup and what do you call Panchoa, and like that's the funniest thing. Like, oh my god. And there's like a fan who's like, I'm from Indonesia, but like it's so embarrassing that it's mostly Indonesian fans defending Jisoo. Like, same girl. I do not engage with Indonesian baby fans. That's just not how I roll. Also, if you hear weird noises in the background, it's just my cat trying to open my door and get into my room. I locked my door because I know he will be a very disturbing and loud. It's Panda as usual. You know him. He's great, amazing, awesome. We love him. Both at the same time, like, Panda, I'm streaming, please. So yeah, this is the whole, yeah. Cause in light of Snowdrop, like, there's just this renewed sense of like interest in Youth of May, which I think is really great. Cause at the time of their broadcast, I think it was buried by a Hospital Playlist, which is also a great drama. But like, I think they should get the the engagement they deserve, essentially. Yeah, so there's that. Is there anything you want to ask? Really, I think that was like the two agenda as agendas I was meant to talk about, but it's mostly just me ranting about Snowdrop, because I hate Snowdrop. Boycott Snowdrop. Nobody wants to watch it. Like, get it out of here. You know. Again, there's the whole Song Shikyong defending Snowdrop being a whole thing. You know. So yeah. Hmm. See, like, the chat and the emoji thing, I think does not work. So we'll just be streaming with like a plain um frame. And there's that, you know. I kind of want to go to DC Gallery for a bit. I want to know like what 70. I haven't been reading DC Gallery recently because the only thing I had time to keep up with is the whole Snowdrop discourse on Instas, and I kind of got carried away with that. Like, you can't blame me, okay? Like, I just really hate Instas. And no, I don't hate Instas. I just really hate Snowdrop. So, you know. What is it now? Oh, it's just people like talking about who's more popular in Japan. Essentially, that's been like a really big topic recently, at least between like hype boy groups. Who's more popular in Japan, TXT and Hypen or 17? And I'm like, a lot of people are saying that 17's new release, like the I Know Chikara, flopped in Japan. Which, I mean, whatever. It's a boring single. They released it at the same time as JO1 twice, and I think Aimer or something like that, and it's just like it's not gonna fare well. They're not gonna. It's not like they're actively promoting the single anyways. It's not like an energetic song with a choreo anyways. So, like, whatever. Nobody cares about I Know Chikara. It's a mediocre song at best. I like the 80s influence, 80s synth ballad kind of feel, but it leaves more to be desired. I want a call, call, call. What is this? 붕세비라니 느금은 셉치에 부비려 들지마. Okay, so they're saying like it's the BTS NCT 17 era, but like NCT is nowhere near 17, and like near nowhere near 17. or something like that. Oh, this is from Genie Music. So it is the top Genie Music Kamsang Jisu's like listeners, like total listeners in Genie Music for a K-pop boy group, the top 30 listeners, and at sixth, 17 is sixth. Oh my god, can you imagine? I didn't. Oh my god, I didn't realize we're here. So 17 is at sixth with, I cannot count. Don't ask me to count, but I think that's like 25 million people, which is the total streamers of 17. Sixth again, 25 million 210,000 people with 500 million streams. Good for them. Um, the song with the most streamers, with the most listeners, is Aju Nice, and the song with the most streams is also Aju Nice. So good for them. Good for them. Fifth is Shiny. Again, I'm not surprised. Like, I am surprised that 17 is up there with like second geners though. Like second is EXO, third is Big Bang, fourth is Zico, fifth is Shiny, sixth is 17. Oh my god, how are they above Winner? Like I thought Winner, like, do they not count like Mino and stuff with this as well? Like I would expect them to count like the Winner solos with this, but I guess not. Eighth is God. Ninth is B2. Like 17 beating B2B. Wow, that's kind of wow. Beating 101. We do not care about 101 in this household. And NCT being like 22nd, NCT Dream being 25th. Like, okay. I don't know if it's like this is like the most recent. Maybe it's a 2020. Oh no, it's 2021. As you can see here, NCT Dream's already hot sauce, mat. So that's a recent list. I mean, I appreciate it. Like, good for them. Good for them. Never knew I'd be here, but like, good for them. I'm going through Insys again. Insys has been kind of slow. Like, I have the 17 search term on my notification, so any posts that mentions the word 17, what I will get like a, what do you call it? Like a notification for it. And like it's been kind of slow, like they usually just get like super hyped up whenever there's a new going 17 or they come back. So right now during like the, what do you call it? Like inactive period, bujongi, it's just kind of nothing goes on. Like there's a post here and there. But yeah, like it gets a good amount of traction at least, like at the hundreds. Which is good. Can't say that for most things. Let's check my notif. Is there anything fun? No, not really. You can send me questions, I guess. I'm not really sure who's tuning in. Like I can only see, like it's different from Spaces, right? With Spaces, like I can see who's tuning in, but with this, I can only see like the number of concurrent viewers. So, you know, I'm curious as to who's watching my stream. You can leave a comment down below. I don't know what else to talk about really. So if there's anything you're curious about, like, feel free to ask. Uh, f- Quite a few tabs open, so we can do a little search, a little cute search, you know. So yeah, just scrolling my Twitter. This is me oversharing, like sharing my whole Twitter timeline on YouTube. But here we are. Um, okay. What's this? Mm, hmm. like a lovely DM conversation. I really encourage to read or back read Gatam Chan's Twitter account. Essentially, this kind of like people her trying to educate. It's her. Yeah, it's a her. Educate like people on like the whole snowdrop thing and giving up perspective. So someone went their DMs and asked like, um, I believe your own explanations. I have also read through the articles in your tweets, which helped a lot. But I thought this thread also makes sense since, as I was watching Snowdrop, I was very mad at the men who were seemingly portrayed as the NSA. So Latam Chan tried to explain this by asking the person like what they saw in the drama, right? So the NSA agents follow Suho, which is Jong Hae-in's character, to the dorms, right? And she said yes, they barged in without a warrant of arrest. They still got in and started scaring the girls. And so what did the scary school lady staff did? And the person said she asked the girls to go in and lock the doors, even though they pointed a gun to her head. She still told them to lock the doors, and that's moment one. And moment two, who goes into the sauna? The woman detective, right? And why they send her in, and like why her, not someone else? Because it's a public bath, and only women are in the dorms. Uh, Absolutely. So what you saw, you probably felt was, oh, they're nude, they're barging in, they're clearly being the bad guys. And the person said yes. Well, a lot of Koreans, those who are more aware of the history, what we saw was, oh, they're being very polite and well behaved for NSA agents. See, this is the point. Like, it's just, again, history revisionism. Like, they're justifying the fact, well, their actions are justified for barging in and doing things to the student activists because they're actually hiding a Korean agent, North Korean agent, something like that. So yeah, in moment one, a real NSA agent would have bashed her head in, the school staff lady. And in number two, they don't care if it's a girl's dorm or a girl's trauma. This man sexually assaulted women they interrogated. So yeah, that's a whole thing. And it's like a really good point. A really good to put things into perspectives, you know. Oh, here. Oomph is asking, is there any talk about Espa beef with like other SM artists? Because my friends and I been going all Pepe Sylvia, It's Always Sunny in Video around this theory. Espa beef with like other SM artists? Oh, are you talking about the um what was it? Oh, hi. Oh, I just saw the chat. Hi, Sal. Hi, Oomph and Law, lawyer dumb for dying fan here. Love your work. Hi to you too. Okay, so Espa, what happened is this has something to do with the SMCU stuff. So I'll have to search it up. Wait, SMCU Express. Okay, so like yesterday, um, Espa released an SM station, which is Dreams Come True, a remake of a Boa song, I think. Yes. And pretty much it's remix. They get a whole music video. I'm not sure if it's gonna be promoted, but it's a whole big thing. And I think they're gonna have like a YouTube series about it, like Boa directing, Boa mentoring Espa essentially, and that's part of the 2021 Winter SM Town SMCU Express tracks. And the Winter SM Town SMCU Express is like a whole album, like a whole winter album, and it features all of the groups, supposedly. And why the SM artists or SM artist fans are upset at SM is they're NCT-fying SM Town. So they picked like it's gonna be a double title track, but one is an SM Town song, which is Hope from Kwangya. I hope they have a Navis reference in there. Hey Navis will love you. Hope from Kwangya, which is sang by all artists. And the second title track happens to be Dreams Come True. So, what do we see here? Friends, fellow, oomphs, is a lot of SM fans saying that this is SM favoritism. Not only that, the album also include new songs from TVXQ and OGG, but no mentions of like EXO, SHINee, and City and other or Suju and stuff like that. So a lot of fans of those groups have been very salty the whole day, being like, "Where's my oppa? Where's my group? Like, where are they? Why are they not in the album?" So yeah, it's a whole like mess and a half of the NCTification of SM Town. And I think that's where the aespa SM artist beef came from, essentially. Oh, also RV. Oh my god, I forgot about RV. Miss Irene, do not scream at me. Do not labrak me. I love you. But yeah. So essentially, it's SM forgetting about the other groups, which I don't think is the case at all. Because this SMCU album, there's gonna be a physical form, physical release, and like NCT gets like two covers. Like, oh my god, you're already privileged in that sense. Like, do you really need another OT23 song? Like, aren't we? Isn't the TY AKB48 graduation track that is beautiful enough? It is their Jiwaru days. Like, I need that hag to graduate already, okay? Like, I'm so tired of him. But in essence, do we need another OT23 song? No. So stop whining. You already have NCT 2021. You have Zozy. Like, let the hags have something. Okay? I don't support TVXQ either. I just like Changmin. This is mostly because, what's his name? Yunho is embroiled in COVID criminal charges of going out after curfew and hanging out at a adult entertainment illegal adult entertainment um business or restaurant storefront. And when he got caught by Satgas or people who are checking in on curfew, he ran away. If he does not feel guilty, he wouldn't feel compelled to run away. So that's a whole other thing. But yeah, TVXU aside, like, let OGG have it, okay? Like, let the gals, let the hags have this. So once deserve this, okay? Like, oh my god. NCT, you have so many comebacks. Just like, let the girls live, okay? Okay, that's my rant on that. But like, yeah, aespa bringing in the true money, like, and citizens can like sit their asses down, okay? Nobody cares about your group who are double million sellers in Kwangya. Nobody cares. So they can just sit down in their whole corner wasting Isuman's money, okay? Like, let the girls have this. Let aespa have this. It's a Boa tribute. She deserved it, okay? So that's a whole thing. I think that's a whole aespa beef with other SM artists um condensed. Um if it's like other beef, not in conjunction to SMCU, I'm not really sure what you're referring to. Cause I think they're pretty like sorry, have a little of a cough there. Um I don't think there's any animosity between aespa and other SM groups. This is also taking into like consideration of like Taeyeon during doing aespa challenge. What was it? Next level challenge, and then also aespa. I think they guessed it on Wendy's Young Street as well. Not only that, I think um they gifted RV like a signed album and everything. And like from their amazing Saturday episode in which Key and Taeyeon are permanent panelists, like, it's all good in SM Town, okay? No hate, no nothing. Chen Li, Cholo and Ning Ning play PUBG together. Like, it's cute. They're great. Nothing to see there. I think it's just SM favoritism at play the NCTification of SM Town now that Super M is dead and gone. So yeah, I just want them to give jobs to Do. Like that man has been out of the military for like a while, but he's still gone. We still don't know where he is. Like, free the egg. Give me the egg. The egghead needs to be freed. Give me some Kyungsu content, okay? Sehun's just being his sugar baby life. I think he has a movie coming up or something. Shumin has been here and there. Um, he was on Knowing Bros a few episodes ago, and there's that. Baekhyun was like online on Twitter like a few days ago, like yesterday. Wait, let's check that out. So Baekhyun was on Twitter, like I'm not sure if it's allowed, but he was on Twitter replying to fans a few days ago, which is a thing. So yeah, that's a funny, like it was a whole menpa and everything. But like I mean it's a Sunday, so um what do you call that? So military enlisted male citizens are now allowed like phones like after hours for like 2 days, like no, 2 hours a day. Hence why Sungwoo has been active on Instagram as well. Victin X1 Sungwoo. But like in essence, like you're not supposed, if you're like a public figure, you're not supposed to be working or like promoting as a public figure while you're in the military. So I'm not sure if Baekhyun is allowed to do this technically, like ethically, question mark. Because what happened was like earlier in his enlistment, like SM pre-recorded a bunch of videos with him in it, and like for the first month or two they uploaded his videos like slowly, like spaced out, like once a week no, once every 2 weeks or something like that. And then people were getting the impression that he's still gonna be actively promoting while in the military, and that got a bit of a backlash. So SM had to put out a statement being like, yeah, we're gonna stop uploading pre-recorded videos of Baekhyun on his YouTube, and we're gonna take down or unlist all of the videos that we have uploaded, um, to stop misunderstanding that he's actively promoting while in the military. So I'm not sure how he's allowed to do a whole menpa in the military, but here it is. He did a menpa a few days ago. So that's like update from XOL land, I suppose. Okay. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else to talk about. Um, maybe the BTS Ipguk situation. So, from what I know, they have returned to Korea. Someone made like a, what is it? Like a schedule of their quarantine. Look. So, this takes into account like when they return to Korea, how long they have to quarantine for, and when they will be free from quarantine. So like after their, what is it, permission to dance concert in LA, as explained by the Big Hit statement, they're on an extended period of break, right? And after they kind of like split off, so Jimin, and Jungkook returned to Korea first in December 6th. Hence why they're out of quarantine first. And then Taehyung and Hosok came in a bit later. This is because I think Hosok went to like Honolulu or something, and Taehyung was just like bumming out in LA for a few more days, and then they came back. And then Namjoon took like an extended break. Like I think he went around America or even like to another country first before coming back. And nobody knows where Yoongi is right now. So this is the whole thing. They have a quarantine chart schedule, which I think is very interesting. Again, the mandatory quarantine period in Korea right now is 10 days. So since right now is the 21st of December, June and the 8th just landed. Wait, yesterday? Today? I What is the concept of time anyways? So they flew from China on the 20th, so I assume they came in on the 20th, and they reached Korea like, yeah, yesterday, no, 2 days ago night. Right now it's already midnight, right? Oh, it's approaching midnight. So yesterday night they got in. So if it's a 10-day quarantine, then they'll be free on the 30th. And a lot of fans were concerned about them returning, but not being able to participate in the Hype concert anyways. So a lot of June 8 stands who are familiar with the C entertainment world were like, then why not just come back after like year end shows equivalent in China? Which I understand the concern. Like, like Chinese year end shows are like quite a big production, big deal. A lot of artists and viewership is involved, so it'll be a good time to expose themselves to the general public, right? So if they can't participate in HypeCon anyway, then why force them to come back just in time for HypeCon? But I think the thing is, they're not gonna be back for HypeCon anyways. So as I didn't really stream the New York. Wait, no, I keep saying New York. The New Year's Eve live last year, but from what I know personally, the only stages that were live was the collaboration stages. So the stages with ENHYPEN, BTS, TXT, if I was not mistaken. They had a collab stage last year, and that was live. But most of the individual group performances, because of the set pieces and the dancers and the remixes, the grand scale of things, those are mostly pre-recorded. So even if say June 8th come back and are free from from quarantine on the 30th, like they're not it's not for the sake of um what do you call of HypeCon anyways, because I'd assume they already pre-recorded HypeCon by now, like at least the 17th stage. If they have featurings, if they have collab stages, I'd assume they won't be pre-recorded. Oh, but I forgot the HypeCon has offline portion, so I guess they're just practicing for that. I'm not sure, but like I think you know, kaya June 8th also as part of 17, they'd probably want to do like an offline con soon. So if they can do HypeCon, then like why not? You know? So in that sense, like I get it though. You're sacrificing like pretty um valuable uh individual schedule opportunities for the group. Again, a very hype move to put the group above the individual. So I understand the anger for June 8th stance, but it is what it is. If they want to perform in the HypeCon, then what can we do? I just want to see them cry performing to Baksu, and I'd be pretty like happy with it. Though I'm not sure if they'll perform Baksu at the HypeCon, but like if they do and they cry, then I'd be pretty satisfied with that. What else? What else do we need to talk about? Yeah, sorry if there's like JO1 tweets swirling around. Like a message from the sponsors. Don't forget to listen to JO1 our season. She's a whole winter pop ballad. Oh, Oof added to that. As the Espa beef thing, especially Yerim, cause like supposedly she knew them, came across some of them in training. So what is the tea? What is the beef? I'm not really sure. Like, I think, right? Why is it? I think. How do I phrase this without seeming weird? Okay, so previously, I think with like third generation, second generation idols or SM groups, it's like they train in close proximity. If anybody remembers that Kiss the Radio episode with, is it Kiss the Radio? No, it's not. No, no, it's Night Night, NCT Night Night episode where Jaehyun and Johnny was hosting and they had Red Velvet as guests, and they were like talking about trainee day stuff where they celebrated Yerim's birthday, and it was like a whole surprise thing and everything. Like they trained in really close proximity, right? And they debuted not that far apart. But I think the thing is with more recent idols and like less overlap between like older groups, like people that debuted in say Red Velvet and people that debuted in aespa, right? Then there's no reason for them to interact. It's like Shotaro and Taeyong. Like there's no reason for them to interact at all. Or like Sehun and Shotaro. Like, I think it's that in that sense that they're just awkward. And I think even if Yerim trained with aespa, it'd be a bit different in that Yerim was in SM Rookies. Well, then they should know. Wait, no, Yerim wasn't in SM Rookies, right? No, she wasn't. Was she in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse thing? I don't think so. I think the only record of her I remember is that she was in an SM Town concert. Was she in SM Rookies? No, she wasn't. She was not in the Mickey Mouse Club thing, right? Yeah, with the NCT Dream and stuff. What is it? Mickey Mouse Club. So I think it'd be like fair enough for them not to be close to um like Red Velvet or other groups because there's no reason for them to interact, right? Because I think they have shorter periods of training as well. Like with FX Shiny, Suju, like SNSD, it's like a 3 to 5 years training. While I think with like newer generations, it's like 1 year, 2 years, and even then, say if in 2 years you don't debut in said company, it's easy for them to be just like, okay, let's just go find a middle tier small company to debut in and just like fuck right off. So there's no incentive for them to stay longer, like Johnny or like Suho. Suho having supposedly debuted with Shiny, and then Johnny with EXO, so on and so forth. Also Irene with FX, stuff like that. So I think it just made sense that they're not as close with aespa, because again, I think the longest trainee would be Ning Ning. So, and it makes sense because Ning Ning, again, I already mentioned that she plays PUBG with Cholo sometimes, which is very amusing. We love hometown friends. And everybody else is just kind of pretty isolated. And like a lot of people are also like bringing up the Karina pre-debut scandal of her bashing BTS and like the older SM groups. So they're making fun of the fact that maybe they're just aespa's just not close with other SM idols because of Karina's scandal, and they saw that Karina bashed them. So who knows? But that's like my take on it. Like, eh, you know, like they just have no reason to interact, and like it makes sense that they're not close. So I wouldn't really see too deep into it. Like they're friends. They're friends with other idols, like with ITZY and with Stacy, and having that fourth gen network. So like, you know, oh, they're also friends with Somi. So in that sense, like I'm not too pressed about it. Like it's whatever. What else? Nothing fun. Like other than Snowdrop, which I already have extensively ranted about. There's nothing else. Oh, what this? Why does it have so many views? Why is just like Itaewon pictures? What? Oh, it's just places that the boy groups tend to play, like where they hang out. It's called Itaewon Bumba. Whatever. Just COVID criminal hotspots, I guess. What is? Oh, the thing. This is the same genie music thing. Mm, 17 is a seven. Like they're going on their seventh year. So why are they trying? So, like why are they giving in so much effort? That's the title of the post, which I understand, but also like, why is that a problem? Isn't that a good thing? You know, but just some anti stuff, and like the post comment. No, the post like text being like, they really take good care of their visuals, which is good. Uh, it's just something about Uji being like, well, he's the only one who doesn't, and the second comment being like, well, yeah, but the only person who has like a significant amount of individual schedules is Sangwan, which is true. Company favorite. I hate it. Where's the Dogyum solo? Like his 13 tapes might as well should like to compensate all of our hearts and efforts. I think Dogyom's 13 tapes should come out after the leaders are done with theirs. So it'd be like Hoshi, Wuji, Scoops, and it should be Dogyom, or I'm writing. What this about Jonghan? They're comparing him to other like 95 liners. R.I.P. Well, yeah, there's a 95 liner like collage, I guess. Hmm. Oh, just there. Yeah, like a lot of posts here, like recently in DC Gallery, has been like praising 17 for taking good care of their visuals, which I understand. Like alcohol weight gain is just it drags down the skin, and it's just like a really it's like the kind of fat you can't get rid of. Like it really ages a person. So 17 being able, oh, what did I click? 17 being able to like, how to say it, like control their alcohol consumption in that sense and still look somewhat presentable is, I think, a skill of its own. Mm, what these? More collages? Yeah. Okay. Uh, eh. Nothing to sing about. Ek bangwon napkordang da. What is this? No 98 liners. Hmm. I don't really care. It's probably just talking about Sangwan's friends. Hmm. Yeah, there's nothing fun. It's just people being sad that 17, like, however, whatever we do, whatever efforts we put in, no way 17's attending the MBC Gayo Dejejon, which I'm sad about too. Like, Gayo Dejejon has always, like, has one of my favorite 17 year end performances, which is the Gochi Mopshi, and Oh My remix, which I really liked. I think that was really cool. And I really enjoyed their performance. I don't really like the one they did the year before though, the clap and campfire performance. I think that fell a little flat. But the hit performance and the Oh My and Gochi Mopshi performance from 2018 and 2019 respectively, I really liked. So I'm still sad they're not gonna be in the MBC Gayo de Chedon. But looking at the lineup, I think it's mostly like SM dominated anyways. So it is what it is. Key is coming out though. Key will be on there as a solo performer, which is like interesting. I enjoyed that. Give Key the stage he deserves. I think it's his I Live Alone privilege. He's a permanent cast member of I Live Alone now, so sorry. I've been having some throaty problems because of my amando. It hasn't been great. It's been hurting still. So that's that. Oh, what else? I think that's about it. If there's still any other questions, I can search it up real quick. If there's nothing else, um, yeah, most of the posts on Instas right now, at least for the K-pop section, is talking about Street Girl Fighter, which I've been watching pretty religiously. Oh yeah, and the Perilla leaf debate has kind of become its own trend, which I don't know if it started with 17, right? But the first one I saw was the S Scoops uh fan call video where the fan asked where if you have dinner with a another member and like your secret girlfriend and the member like helps get like the perilla leaf for your girlfriend, how would you react? And he said he'd get jealous and everything. The first time I saw it was from that S Scoops video call, so I assume the Perilla Leaf debate originated from 17 fandom, but yes, it has gone viral recently. They even did it for someone asked Baekhyun about it during the what do you call the um Menpa the other day, and like uh other 17 members have been asked that as well, and I know and Hypen members have been asked that as well, like uh the Perilla Leaf question. So I think that's fun. Other than Bangi Bangi Boom 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 Bangi trend, so that's fun, I suppose. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. I'd entertain questions, but yeah, is there anything else? Am I missing something? Wow, this has been going on for a while. Like almost 2 hours. I will end it at 2 hours as usual. I don't really do streams past 2 hours. Or dumpster dives, I guess, past 2 hours. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end it soon. This will be archived. Don't worry if you wanna re-listen to me scream about Snowdrop, you can. Yeah, but there's really nothing else going on. Mm, yeah, 17 stuff is just hasn't been popping off because there's nothing to see. Going 17 is on break. So yeah, let me go back to yes. So I guess that's it. Um, please leave some feedback on how you feel with the YouTube live setup. Feel free to leave in the comments. Tweet me about it. Um, I tried to improve my setup a bit more with like more widgets and stuff. I think that'd be fun as well. And I'll make sure to tweet a link of this broadcast dumpster diving live once it's been archived and unlisted for your viewing pleasure if you want to revisit some stuff that we talked about today. Um Again, I'm not really sure when I'm gonna do another dumpster diving next, cause my next Wi-Fi is again like next week. My Wi-Fi is also on Wednesday, but I'm not gonna force out another episode of Dumpster Dive if there's something fun to talk about. Um, Today, like the snowdrop thing, kind of took the crown a little bit. I want to scream about it, so that's why you got a dumpster diving test live today. Because I want to scream about snowdrop and a bit of BTS, you know. But aside from that, I don't know if there's anything fun happening next week. I'll make sure to do another dumpster dive. Yeah, again, comment on the setup. Things I can add like widgets and stuff. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other video. I'm not sure I'm gonna post a proper video essay next because it takes a long time to do the script and to do the visuals and to do the voiceover. So, but she's there. She's living. I have one up on this channel. I think the rest will just be unlisted videos of dumpster dives, but you gotta start somewhere. So yeah, thank you for listening. A message from the sponsor today would be watch F4 Thailand. Oh my god, it's so good. I started the first episode today and mind blowing. The director is the same director as The Gifted. Stars Bright and Win of the Sarawatin fame, and Bright still can't act, but Win Meta Win, oh my god, our Sundanese rep, he was bringing it, okay? He was giving Lee Sonbe realness, and I loved every second of it. It's really good, has more social commentary undertones in it. It's a very critical look at bourgeoisie schools, giving me middle school PTSD of getting bullied by rich kids. So give that a look. It's available on GoPlay. It's a illegal streaming site, but she's there and she's living. It's so good. Like it's a really fresh take on The Boys Before Flowers, a darker take, but it's really funny still. And I cried watching the first episode. Oh my god, it's giving me a real PTSD flashbacks, you know? Just um middle class things. So there's that. Um Guess that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Yeah, don't forget to leave a feedback on my Twitter, Taldokju, or on this video on the comment section. Thank you for actively commenting. Oh my god, this is so much more comfortable than Twitter Spaces. So thank you, and stay tuned for another dumpster dive. Maybe next week, maybe whenever another hot egg comes out. But yeah, please anticipate. Thank you. Bye.